Thanks. Good morning, everyone. Well done for making it through to the final day. I know it can be a bit of a slog. So, as you've seen, I work for a company called Trouva. Is my slides? It's not connecting. I work for a company called Trouva, and before I was with Trouva, I was at a company called Not on the High Street for 5 years. So I've been really able to be really close to people who have been growing their own business and helping to bring that business to life. We there? So that is now my lovely team that I work with at Trouva. I'll give you a second and you can try and spot the speaker. And as I said, I've been at Trouva for about a year and a half. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Trouva is a curated marketplace and the online home for the very best bricks and mortar boutiques. And what we do is bring those boutiques together, as you can see, and create a platform where customers can shop really beautiful design-led products from independent retailers. So it's allowing people to still find those products they really love, but allowing them to put their money towards independence. And then we support those independent boutiques to fulfill those orders as easily as possible. So we give them full logistical support, we've got community events, and obviously the marketing reach that comes with being part of Trouva. So that's who we are. But what that means for me is I get to spend a lot of time speaking with boutique owners up and down the country. And it's a real privilege to understand what their business stresses and successes are, hear how things are going, and really learn what it takes to build a really successful business. And I feel that despite everything we see and hear in the media, there's still a really strong place for high streets like this within our country. And we know that spend is shifting, and what I'm going to talk about today is not just kind of how spend is shifting online, but also how when people are buying things, they want to have a process that feels a bit different, and the kind of products they're buying is a bit different as well. So as we said, you can't ignore the ease of shopping online, but actually the majority of the products are still being bought offline. And what we see is when customers are thinking about the kind of products they want to buy, that actually the shift can be spending towards more experiences. So looking at things like Netflix and Spotify, we're really happy to keep putting money towards traveling. And actually it's thinking about then, how does that quest for experiences have a bit of an impact into the kind of products that people are buying as well? And one of the words in the conversations we have a lot and hear about is this experiential retailing. And it's about how people can elevate that in-store experience so that if someone's going to leave the convenience of their sofa where they could buy that candle, it's going to be worth it for making them come down into your shop. So who here has their own retail business in the audience? We've got a few different people in the audience, and I've gathered about 7 or 8 different examples from around the world of how people are using experiential retail. And not all of these are going to be instantly applicable to your business, but hopefully they will spark some thoughts of steps you could take from today. So going probably as far from that high street to a world of augmented and virtual reality. And one of the ways that we see this company, JD.com, so one of the world's biggest retailers, huge online presence in China, but also a big retail presence in physical shops as well. And what they were looking at was how they can make the shopping experience more seamless. So I don't know when you last bought a lipstick, but it's not a really great experience, and you end up standing in a not very well lit beauty hall with about 5 different shades on your hand, trying to see which one's going to go well in a small mirror that isn't giving you a great experience, and end up then probably buying one that, if you're like me, you end up with 5 lying in the bottom of your makeup bag, none of them really working. So what they've invested huge amount of energy into is creating augmented reality mirrors, where in their beauty halls, customers can really instantly see what different shades of lipstick look like and flip through the entire portfolio, making it a lot more accessible for them to already see which product's going to be the best fit for them, and also you're not left with a grubby hand and using a tester that everybody else in the shop has been using as well. And that's really interesting to me, because when we think about the technology we carry around in our phone, if I can see myself in 20 different filters, why is my experience of buying a lipstick still so old school? The other area that they're looking at JD.com is the age-old problem of changing rooms and trying products on. And this is a problem that online retailers have really capitalized on when they're advertising get 6 items and try them on in the comfort of your own home. And it's that aspect of the comfort of your own home that everybody is really familiar with, that how uncomfortable some changing room situations can be. It can be quite stressful with sizes and mirrors, and for a time-poor customer, we don't actually always want to go into a shop and try on 6 different tops. So they've also been investing in virtual reality fit mirrors. So I'm not expecting these are going to be hitting the high streets up and down the country just yet, but what they're allowing people to do is stand in front of a mirror and virtually try on lots of different options, so you can see the different size and the different shape, where it cuts on you, which we know is all really important, allowing people to more quickly and easily make that purchasing decision. And so what's driving them is using that technology to identify problems that, I guess, if you were thinking about it as a consumer, we just thought were part and parcel of the shopping experience. And another business who's doing this in a really interesting way is Lush. And what Lush are really channeling in on is they've always been a values-driven business. So they were the first people to think about highlighting package-free shampoo. So they've got the shampoo bar and all of those different items that allow their customers to use less plastic while engaging with their products. And that's something that's really core to who they are as a business. And earlier this year in Milan, they've launched their first package-free store. And not only is this somewhere where customers can come to buy products that are completely free of packaging, they also have loads of containers made of cork, which is really reusable and ethically sourced, and you can fill up on your different products without actually having to use any plastic. And it's not just in the packaging, there's no product cards or information. Along with using some technology, they've created the Lush Lens, which is an AI app and allows you to hover over different products to understand everything that's gone into them, the price, all of the different information that you would need to buy that product while keeping it completely package free. But their shop's not just about the product. It's also somewhere where they've got a plastic-free library. They show screenings that are really related to different campaigns around this topic. And they also invite in different NGO groups and activists to have debates. So it's really about understanding, why is somebody buying a product from Lush? What is their priority? And it's not going to be because it's the cheapest, quickest shampoo to buy. It's because they care about the ethics behind the brand. And so then really bringing that brand to life in a physical shop in a way that's really difficult to do online. And especially when we think about one of the common gripes that people have when they're getting packages sent online, the amount of packaging that comes with it. This allows people to really eliminate that in an area of beauty, which is a really difficult one to get that across in. And then thinking about that in-store experience, and then somewhere that's really taken it to the next level is the sneaker brand Vans. And so they have the House of Vans in London, which is their flagship store, but I think store kind of really undersells it, because this is more of an event space than anything you would have ever visited as a shop. So when you go onto the homepage of their website, it does look more like a venue with a list of upcoming events. And it also features its very own skate park, so customers can come, and users, I guess, can come and skate using the product. They run lots of different campaigns for initiatives such as a global campaign to get more girls into skating. So they've got skate camps. They also have gigs, so the band Churches, they're a Scottish band. The only UK gig they're playing this year is in House of Vans, in a shop essentially, which is kind of crazy to think about how that has moved on. So the reason why people are coming to House of Vans is not first and foremost to buy their products, it's to use the space. But you can bet when they want to get a new pair of trainers, they're going to want them to be Vans. And thinking about those two aspects, so making that a space that's more than just a shop and really tying in with the things that your customer cares about, and perhaps a bit more of a accessible scale. I was going to speak to you about artisans and adventurers. Now, Amy and Bee run 2 boutiques, one in Columbia Road in East London and one in Hackney, and they're one of our Trouva boutiques. And what they've done with their shop in Margate is to really make it about being more than a shop. They really want to tell the story behind their products. A lot of their products are ethically sourced, sustainable, coming from different campaigns across the world. So they will regularly hold workshops and events to allow people to learn the story behind their products. But they also have a gallery space where they will have exhibitions of up-and-coming or local artists, and there's also a regular yoga and Pilates class, so you can have yoga or Pilates 6 days a week because they understand who their customer is. That's what their customer likes to do. That's the topics that their customer is interested in. So by offering them all to them in their own space, they're becoming a lot more than just a transactional shop. And I think one of the other areas that's really interesting to think about your shop is as a destination, and we can see how people can start growing that brand online, and that can end up channeling your customers into your physical shop. So I'm going to talk to you about another Trouva boutique. This is Forest London, and it's an absolutely beautiful store that really taps into the trend that we're seeing so much at Trouva at the moment about bringing the outside in. So what they have on their website, you can see lots of products around plants and everything that supports the plants, from your pots to your design-led watering cans. And really, this is a trend that if you spend a bit of time on Instagram, as I have done, you'll see that people posting about hashtag plant goals, hashtag green up your gaff, or my personal favorite, hashtag jungalow, which has over 600,000 posts related to it, where people are really keen to be able to green up their house and bring loads of plants and foliage, cactus, succulents, all of those different products. So people will be searching online for that kind of product, and they might come across Forest, which is based in Deptford in London, and then engage with the brand through its social media. And I think that's exactly the kind of Instagram fodder that customers are trying to recreate in their house. And so by showing your brand in such an immersive way, you've already piqued people's interest. And then that makes the shop, which is in Deptford, a real destination, almost a pilgrimage that people want to make the effort to go to get that Insta-worthy shot. And I think when you see the interior of the shot, it's definitely worth a trip. I think this is as far from a garden centre as you might get in a shop. It's almost like if a greenhouse was going to a black tie event, this is what it would look like. And we know when we speak to the boutique owners that customers will come and travel, and it's part of a pilgrimage for them. And even if they don't shop that day, whenever they want to buy a plant, they're going to want to get it from Forest because it's the coolest place to get it from. And we see that actually across loads of the shops that we work with on Trouva. So if you've got your own space, being able to kind of showcase the effort that you're putting it into making it look beautiful and engaging for those customers in store, sharing that online can actually find you a whole new wave of customers who will want to make the effort to come to visit you as well. And I think then the final one that I want to speak about is not thinking about so much the retail experience, but actually thinking about experiences as products. And we're seeing that shift going to more experiences. I know that myself, in the past year, I've completed a flower arranging workshop. I've learned how to fail miserably at trying to pot. I have blended my own fragrance, and I've created a candle. And you might think that I am a marketeer's dream, which I am, but I know that I'm also quite typical of lots of consumers at the minute. And what we see is that there's a couple of reasons, I think, driving that engagement. So on the one hand, yes, customers want to step away from the screen. They want to know more about the story behind the product. If I could give my friend a candle for a present, does it not kind of make it one better to actually get her the workshop where we'll go and both make candles together and then we'll take them home? And people really want to be able to kind of spend time with people and are prioritizing that. A slightly more cynical side of me would also say that our expectations around, and this would apply, I guess, particularly in gifting, our expectations around delivery are being set and they're getting higher and higher. So if we're coming up to a big event, we might even not even start thinking about what we're going to buy somebody until 2 or 3 days in advance. And from my time at Not on the High Street, I could certainly see that manifesting itself in lots of gin distillery tours being sold as gift vouchers on the 23rd and 24th of December, when the only lead time you've got with that is how long it takes you to set up your printer to print off the voucher. And so the guys I'm going to talk to you about now are Paul and Nico, and they own Bonds Hackney, which is a concept store in East London. And they started out with their own candle brand called Orla East, and they make all of their candles in their beautiful studio here. And as the business grew, they had a bit more space and they were becoming a bit of a destination and moved from the market stall into a physical shop. And they've then curated a beautiful range of products from complementary brands. So you can buy their candles, but you can also buy lots of the other products. But they were also making the candles in the workshop at the back. And so what they then introduced was their own candle making workshop. So you can see that's again some lovely members of Team Trouva on our summer social. where we all went to create and make our own candles. And these workshops are sold out really regularly. And some of the other events that they'll run would be life drawing classes with the up-and-coming illustrator Alexa Coe. They've also got terrarium making and spoon carving. And I think the thing about this is to realize that these guys have created a really cool brand. So if they're telling you that a spoon carving workshop is a cool thing to do, I trust them, and it automatically makes me want to go. But what's also interesting about that, and again, probably my own spending tendencies coming to the fore here as a case study, when you go to those events in the shop, we are a nation of shoppers. We also then look around the shop, we engage, we see the other products that they want, and we might not buy it then, but we know that their products are there. And Paul and Nico are pretty savvy, so when you're at one of their workshops in their shop, it's 20% off everything in the shop that day as well. So it's also encouraging people to engage with the wider brand, and they also tell the story behind all of the products that they've sourced, making it a much more enriched experience than you'll ever get from an online-only platform. And I think while what that shows us is that customers are extending the kinds of products they're buying, they also want to engage physically with the people who are sourcing them. So I think overall, you can see that this has been a very fly-by-night introduction to experiential retail. We've gone from augmented reality to effectively wood whittling in about 15 minutes. But what I think the common themes are, and what people could apply to their own businesses, is that these retailers are listening to the problems that their customers are facing, so a really rubbish changing room experience. They're engaging with the issues that their customer cares about, whether that's through packaging or understanding what their hobbies are. And they're understanding what's missing from the customer's experience, and they're able to enhance that through things like workshops or events or yoga classes. And so hopefully what the message would be that if you can think about those three questions, you will be able to then use your place and your space to both add value to your customer and gain their loyalty far beyond anything that's just a simple transaction. So there were the overall topics I wanted to cover. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any. Just grabbing some photos there. But yeah, thank you so much for your time then. As I said, I'm Orla McDonald from Trouva, and please do feel free to get in touch. Thanks.